What's up, chat? What's wrong? I fucked up, chat. What happened? I'm out of here. Well, thanks for the fucking positive shit. I fucked up, chat. I screwed up, chat. Profile picture, what's your profile picture? What do you want me to say to your profile picture, dude? Jesus loves you. I hope. Chat, do y'all really want to know why I'm like this right now? Like, straight up. Just be honest with me, chat. Do y'all want to know why I'm like this or not? Why is the GTA allowed? What message did you delete, bro? Chad, y'all wanna know I'm like this? You know what? I'm not. No. No. I'm sorry I'm not talking shit.
Real quick, I want to get you guys caught up to speed, right? What is this? What's going on? What am I talking about? Well, back in the 1990s, President Clinton signed a bill into law called COPPA, which was the Children's Online Privacy and Protection Act. I believe it was President Clinton. And basically what that bill does is it protects kids under the age of 13 on the internet. And it does that in a few different ways. The main way, though, is it bans companies, website services from collecting personal data on anyone under the age of 13, which is why whenever you sign up to a website or service or game or whatever, you typically have to be at least 13 to make an account, right? That's just one of the complexities of the bill. And then, of course, if you're a YouTuber, back in 2019, 2020, we had the entire COPPA situation on YouTube. Basically what happened is the FTC, the Federal Trade Commission, which is part of the US government, found out that YouTube was in violation of these COPPA policies, right? And YouTube and Google got fined, like, I think it was like 150, 160, 70 million dollars, a lot of money. And they had to pay all this money to the US government for violating these policies. And as a result, YouTube had to implement new rules. So if you're a YouTuber, every time you upload a video or whatever, have you have to choose, is that video, is that new piece of content made for kids? Is it not made for kids? Basically, made for kids is content under 13. Not made for kids is content above 13, right? If you're a YouTuber, you know exactly what I'm talking about. And so what happens if your content is made for kids? Well, under 13 content faces some interesting qualities to it, right? Like comment sections are turned off. Targeted advertisements are disabled, right? We'll talk more about that here in a second. How YouTube recommends the video is messy, right? Essentially, most YouTubers try to avoid having a video set to made for kids as much as they possibly can, because it pretty much just destroys the integrity of the video, and that video is kind of just dead in the water, right? Like, it doesn't get recommended as much, people can't comment, people can't engage with it doesn't have targeted advertisements, etc. Now, targeted advertisements versus contextual advertisements. What's the difference? Well, most advertisements you see on YouTube, you click on a video, you see an ad, it's a targeted advertisement, right? Basically, YouTube is looking at things you like, what other videos you watch. Basically, it takes your data and it's like, hey, you like video games, so I'm going to show you video games or ads about video games, right? Or you like Barbie dolls, so I'm going to show you ads about Barbie dolls, right? Contextual advertisements are more like, best way to describe it, Saturday morning cartoons, right? It's the ads that play, every 5 minutes of a TV show. Everyone sees them. They're not targeted specifically necessarily to your needs at once. Everyone just kind of sees them. They're contextual, right? Now, the reason why YouTubers hate Made for Kids is it disables targeted advertisements and you only get contextual ads. So targeted ads, which is how most YouTubers earn most of their paycheck, is ads, right? As a streamer, for me, it's a little bit different because I have donations and memberships and, merch and stuff. But a lot of YouTubers don't have that. So it's mainly targeted advertisements, which is how most YouTubers earn their money. Now, if you don't have targeted advertisements and you're only getting contextual ads, well, contextual ads pay way, 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 way less. I was doing the math back in like 2019, 2020 when all this was going on, and I was looking at personally I think it was an 80% reduction in revenue, right? Some other YouTubers might be a little bit less, some YouTubers might be a little bit more, right? But like 80% of my revenue just kind of gone like that overnight, right? That's what was at risk. And it's scary. It's a scary thing. Most YouTubers would not be able to afford that, right? Especially if you're a smaller YouTuber. Losing 80% of your paycheck, that might mean you're not eating food this month, or you're not paying your rent this month, et cetera, or you have to let go of these employees, you have to fire your editor, fire your thumbnail artist, whatever it may be, right? So that was the YouTube situation with COPPA. That's, you're caught up to speed now. COPPA 2.0, the difference is it's a new bill that adds on to the old bill, and it extends the age of protections from anyone under 13 to anyone 16 and under. Now, I've spoken to a lawyer on this, right? A lot of speculation, a lot of this and that, and rumors kind of going on with the bill. Here's basically what's going on. The bill just flat out bans targeted advertisements on anyone under 16. So if the audience of a video is under the age of 16, no targeted advertisements. Flat out ban, no ifs, ands, buts, nothing like that. Which is scary because when you think about it, a lot of YouTube content, most YouTube content could fall within that range, right? Fortnite is a 13 plus game. That is within that range, right? Fortnite videos could, hypothetically, under this new bill, not have targeted advertisements anymore, right? Minecraft videos, Roblox videos, shoot, you could even make the argument that Grand Theft Auto has a large teenage audience, which, we know it does. Most people who are teenagers have played Grand Theft Auto. I guarantee you a lot of people who are going to buy GTA 6 when it comes out later this year are probably teenagers, right? So if they really wanted to, right? If the government really, 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 really wanted to, they could probably even make the argument that there's a bunch of teenagers watching GTA content, therefore GTA content isn't going to have targeted ads. No targeted ads, huge reduction in YouTuber revenue, and, a lot of YouTubers won't be able to do this anymore, right? Now, that's not the only thing. Now, I say hypothetically here because the bill is, of course, not completely... it has to go back to the House of Representatives, and there's a whole approval process. So it's not signed into law yet, right? Things can and will change here, but as it stands right now, this is where we're at, okay? Now, the second thing, number 2, is platforms, websites like YouTube, social media, whatever it may be, they would have to probably, I say probably because the bill is kind of a gray area here. The lawyer said it's kind of up to interpretation on how websites and services interpret this. But websites like YouTube would probably have to implement some sort of age verification service. If you're a Roblox player, you know probably exactly what I'm talking about, right? In order to access certain parts of the website or do certain things or get certain features, you have to upload your photo ID or your driver's license or your student card or whatever it may be to verify that you are the age that you say you are, right? Or take a photo of yourself and have an AI, analyze the photo and be like, yes, this person is over the age of 16 or over the age of 18. No, that's a whole nother topic for a whole nother time on why I personally don't like those kinds of things. It feels very dystopian, right? It's kind of weird, but that might be the situation that we're looking at, right? Hey, if you want targeted ads on YouTube, then you have to verify that you're over 16, or you have to be linked to a parent account, or if you want to watch these kinds of videos, you have to verify your age by uploading your ID or whatnot, right? It's a very scary situation. How does that impact YouTube? How does that impact YouTubers? I don't know. We don't know. But that's the situation that we're looking at right now, right? We could be seeing a ban on targeted advertisements, and we could be looking at a situation where, if you want to use YouTube and access, a lot of the site, you have to verify your age. Now, I see a lot of people, and in response to
Bro,
my
what's up?
previous videos, and even here on Twitter, saying, "Oh, Creek, aren't you for child safety, that kind of thing?" And like, yeah, I am. Being able to protect children more on the internet is obviously a good thing, right? But I think there's good ways to go about it, and there's bad ways to go about it, right? Having a system where you have to upload your ID, a federal, that's personal information, right? Um, Having a system where you have to upload photo ID, your driver's license, to access and use this website or that service, it's like, what are we doing, man? What are we doing? At some point, it's the parents' responsibility. You know what I mean? This is just my personal opinion at this point, but like at some point, it's the parents' responsibility. You know what I mean? Like if your kid is 16 years old, who can drive, by the way, if you're 16 years old, you can drive, okay? In most places here in America, you can get a job at 16 years old, okay? But for some reason, you have to upload your ID, quite possibly, in order to use YouTube. Like, tell me how that makes sense, right? Of course, that doesn't make sense, right? Like, there's some common sense ways that we could go about protecting kids online. I don't think flat out banning stuff like this and having the government